Oh, what is the upskis, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GXGamerCast. We're on episode 140 of my little gaming show where once a week I just has to talk about video games, whether they're new video games that I'm playing today, old video games that I grew up with, it doesn't matter. Video games. And today, it's a special one. I can't believe it's been so long since I've done an indie video game episode, but we're doing one, y'all, even though I know I said I was going to do some, like, games that impacted my life, or I had another list. Anyway, I was going through the lists, and I saw this one. I was like, oh my goodness, I forgot I had this list, and have been meaning to do it literally since I released the first, my 13 favorite indie games episode. There is a crucial game on that list that I forgot to put on, so I immediately made another list, and I've been sitting on this list for a while now, so we're gonna finally do it and give some more love to the indie games, because I've actually been playing a lot of indie games lately, and there's a big one that just dropped not long ago that has kind of taken the world by storm. That game is Blueprints, and yes, I have been playing the bejesus out of it, so we'll spend a good amount of time talking about that on this episode, along with a bunch of other indie games. But before we get into that, let us discuss what I've been up to over the last week or so. As I always encourage you, the viewer, the listener, let me know what y'all are up to right now. Let me know what games you're diving into right now. Are you playing Blueprints? Did you give it a shot? Did you give up on it? Let me know. And you watching any shows right now? You getting ready for WrestleMania, y'all? It is literally today. As I'm recording it, WrestleMania is tonight. This is the big weekend. It's probably my favorite weekend of the entire year. And yeah, dude, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to be watching a lot of wrestling this weekend. So I'm going to be busy, but I've still managed to get in some stuff this week. So let's start with this Netflix show that I watched called Bad Influence, Kidfluencing. The story of Kidfluencing. It is on Netflix. It is a 3-part limited series situation, and it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting, not in terms of, like, ew, but in terms of what people do to children and exposing children to make a quick buck. And, yeah, man, like, honestly, back in the day when Toddlers and Tiaras first came on or whatever, and I saw that was, like, I don't know how old I was, not very old, maybe a young teenager, and I was already like, this is wrong. Like, this feels wrong to put this on TV and to have these children prancing around in clad outfits and heavy makeup and perfume, and it's just, it was a huge red flag to me then. And then when I heard about all the controversies that came out of that Toddlers and Tiaras and how horribly they treat the children, I wasn't shocked, man. I was like, yeah, how did people not realize that is what was happening? And that continues to happen on, but now we have avenues like YouTube and so many other things, and this series goes into a particular girl that the weirdest thing is I haven't heard a thing about not a single YouTuber that was mentioned in this docu-series. I haven't heard or seen any of them, but there's massive kid thing going on YouTube, and it's eye-opening, it's disgusting, it's sad, it's just wrong, man. It's very wrong, and the fact that we're still dealing with children labor laws and just not good, but it was a very good documentary, very well made, very informative, and yeah, I would definitely recommend it. It is eye-opening to let us know the dark underbelly of what is going on the internet, man. Like, it's not really a shock to say that things like this is going on, but, like, man, just gross, absolutely disgusting, but definitely worth a watch. It's on Netflix. I'd hit it with an 8 out of 10. I really liked it. What else have I been watching? I think I got another kind of docu-series here called From Rockstar to Killer. This one was okay. I wasn't into it as much as the other one. I guess mainly because it's based off. It's in Paris, so the documentary was in French, but it's dubbed over in English. So I don't know. Maybe that threw me off a little bit, but still a really interesting story. I don't remember a darn thing about it. It happened in 2003, where this singer basically got away with murder. Man, that's basically the where this goes. And it's just, again, another just angering story where, you know, if you're popular enough, you're a big enough celebrity, you can get away with some shit, man. And, you know, it makes me think of like OJ and fucking Jimmy Snuka and people that have literally gotten away with murder and are walking the streets, and most people don't even bat an eyelash or even know that this person killed somebody and got away with it. It's ridiculous. But that, again, another interesting watch. I enjoyed it on Netflix, 7 out of 10. And I've been watching The Challenge with my wife. All-Star Season 2, finished that one off. It was good. I liked it because it was a shorter challenge. Usually these things go on for like 20 episodes. This one was like not, maybe half of that. So much more easy to put down. And yeah, it was good. 7 out of 10 as well. No movies. I've just not been in a movie mood right now, so let's talk video games. Actually made a couple purchases this week. I find I have not really been buying a lot of video games because of all the... I got Game Pass, I got the PlayStation Plus, I got a ridiculous amount of games in my backlog, so I don't really buy games too much, but when the opportunity comes around, so I purchased Devil May Cry 5 on PlayStation 5. It was a game that was on PlayStation Plus, but it's gone now, so I was like, shit, I missed the boat on that one, and it was $13. And I hear nothing but amazing things about Devil May Cry. Now, I've played a few Devil May Cry games, never actually gone through a Devil May Cry and beaten one, but I remember enjoying 4 from the demo that I played, and yeah, this game looks awesome. I've heard great things, and it was so cheap, and I really want to put it up against Bayonetta and see which kind of hack and slash, over-the-top, crazy game I prefer more. Do I prefer Dante? Do I prefer Bayonetta? So that is a potential, that's a versus series I've been meaning to get to, since I started the show. I've had it on the list. But yeah, man, that's Devil May Cry 5, pick that one up. And I also, this is a game that I was watching, you know, I'll be on YouTube watching underrated games that went under the radar, and the Banner Saga came up on one of those lists, and it immediately grabbed my attention. I was like, what is this game? And it's so I bought the Banner Saga trilogy. There's a trilogy of games, and it's like a strategy game with a hell of a story apparently attached to it, with big decisions that play through the whole entire trilogy. So things that I do in the first game are going to have effects on the third game, second game. So I'm like, yo, what the hell? How have I not heard about this game? And it's one of those games, when you see it, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I'm like, man, that game's just buried into my brain. I'm like, man, I want to try. I'm so interested. So I'm looking up prices, and it's like, $30 per game. I'm like, what's the trilogy like on, I really want it on Switch. And they're like, yo, that's like $90. I'm like, ooh, I don't know about that. Looked it up on Amazon. They're like, yo, you want the PS4 version trilogy? $30. I'm like, can't pass that up. So it is on its way. It should be here today. So I'm hoping I can get into Banner Saga sooner rather than later, because I am very, very curious about that game. If anyone here's played it, let me know if you enjoyed it, and I'm very excited to try that one out. It looks so freaking cool. And what else have I been playing? I played some Gunstar Heroes, a game that was recommended from... what do you call it? Remember the Game. He's done me no wrong so far. Like, he put me on to Bully and Slay the Spire and other games, and that was another one that he was like, yo, Gunstar Heroes, banger. And I was like, snap. And I realized, I was like, holy crap, I always forget about the Sega Genesis on the Switch Online thing. I'm like, oh crap, I wonder if Gunstar's on there. Boom, Gunstar Heroes is absolutely on there. Started playing it, and I'm like, yo, this is awesome. Gunstar Heroes is a banger. It's like Contra, but easier, and it is just delightful. I only played like an hour or so, got through like 3 levels of it, and it is super fun. Very, very fun. I would love to play it. Like, it's a 2-player game as well. And yeah, it's basically, from what I can tell, it's like Sega's Contra. It's gorgeous, looks very nice. And yeah, it's just really fun arcadey action. It's a great time. So yeah, I would recommend checking out Gunstar Heroes, especially if you got a friend to play it with. It looks hella fun to play with a friend. I've been playing Blueprints, of course. We'll dive into that once we get more into the episode. I'll kind of go through like a quick overview, kind of review, let you know what this game is. And I've been playing Kill Knight, another game that I'll talk about more in depth on this list once we get into the episode. And the other game that has really just grabbed me is Forza Horizon 5. Got back into that game and started playing the DLC that I haven't gotten to, and oh my god, did the Hot Wheels, brah. Oh man, it is so freaking, I love Forza Horizon. It is such an amazing video game. I got through the Hot Wheels now. I did that. It was awesome. I was a Hot Wheels kid growing up, so it's just like, sometimes, I grew up too early. I wish sometimes that I got to grow up in this generation. Like, man, what would life have been like as a kid if I had a game like Forza Horizon at my fingertips? Like, holy shit. But at least I get to play it now when I'm 32 years old. So there that is. Just got into the Rally DLC now. It's good. I'm liking it. It's fucking Forza Horizon, man. It is the best fucking racing game on the market. Bar none. It is the only one, like, I could play Forza Horizon for hours on end and not get sick of it. But if I put in Forza Motorsport, I am bored of it within 30 minutes because it's just strictly racing. And Horizon, there's just so much variety, so many fun cars. I love Forza Horizon. So I'm playing a ton of that right now as well. A little bit of Pac-Man Championship Edition, and I might have played a little bit of WWE 2K24, but not all that much. So that's all I've been up to. Let's get into the indie video game discussion, and let's kick it off with a little game called Blue Prince. All right, well, that was not music from Blue Prince, but you get some Latino heat from the fantastic game Guacamelee. All right, we'll talk about Guacamelee actually in a little bit, but let's get into Blue Prince because this is one of the new hot games on the scene that a lot of people are talking about and calling it one of the best games of the year, one of the best games they've ever played, yada, yada, yada. Now, you got to take this stuff with a grain of salt from all these, game publishers and game reviewers and all that stuff, because a lot of the time they say everything's the best this and you gotta check out this and you have to check out that. But I will tell you honestly, if you are into puzzle games, a roguelike game, or maybe in just something different, yeah, dude, like Blue Prince is absolutely gonna be a phenomenal game for many people. But if you don't like puzzles, you don't like slow gameplay, you don't like trying to piece a really obscure story together, you don't like trial and error, then Blue Prince won't be for you. And if you also don't like unique titles, that there's like a double entendre, then I guess Blue Prince won't be for you. And it's a very hard game to say, apparently. But what the fuck is Blue Prince, you may be asking? Well, it is a roguelike puzzle game, and I'm calling it this year's Balatro. Just an indie game that just dropped on the scene and is absolutely taking everybody by storm. It is incredibly addicting and fun to play. So what the game is you are gifted this mansion from your rich-ass uncle, and you got to figure out how to get into room 46. So you have this 45-room layout, massive mansion, and this mansion changes rooms on a daily basis. So you enter the mansion with a completely empty floor plan, and you go through the mansion, picking rooms. You'll get 3 options. Like, you'll come up to a door, you pick the door, and it'll give you 3 rooms to choose from, and you go in, and each room is different, has different stuff going on. They have different amount of doors, so like, one room might have a door that only leads left, one might have multiple doors to give you multiple paths, and your goal, like I said, is to get to room 46. And to figure that out, well, you're just going to have to go through the mansion and look around and poke your head into stuff and trial and error and trial and error. Now, the closest comparison that I can make to another game would be The Outer Wilds, which is a game I played last year, I do believe, last year or the year before, and it didn't hit for me. Mostly because I wasn't in a mood for that kind of puzzle game, and I didn't have the patience for it. Now, what is keeping me on Blue Prince that Outer Wilds didn't have is the roguelite feature. So what is that? It's the fact that you have to you're going into this empty house and you're building the floor plan, and it's different every single run. You'll have the same rooms, but they will pop up in different areas, and you're trying to lay out the best route to this house to get as deep into it as you can, because the deeper you get into the house, the more interesting the rooms get, the more mysteries you will be able to uncover. And there's a ton of puzzles, man. It's not just as simple as finding this room. Like, what it presents to you is there's this room in the back of the house. It's called the antechamber, and it's just this kind of block of a room with doors that you can't get into, so you're trying to figure out how to get in there, and man, it's just incredibly fun. It is very addicting in the fact that, you know, you go through the layout of the room and you get stuck. You're like, oh shit, I cannot proceed no further. I'm done. Then you call it a day and you start all over again. Now that absolutely can turn people off. I completely understand that. That's what this game is. It's do it again, and but the roguelite feature of it and the fact that you will be uncovering things in the game that will become permanent unlocks, which will make the runs easier. So every run you will start with, I believe it's 50 steps. Now I'm further in the game now that I've been able to upgrade the amount of steps that I have. So every room that you enter, you lose a step. Some rooms will make you lose more steps. Some rooms will give you steps. There's a bunch of items, like you'll find food throughout the mansion that will give you extra steps. There's oh my goodness, there's just so, every run is different. That's what makes the game so, keeps bringing me back, because I'm like, oh, what's going to happen this run, and what's going to happen this run? And then eventually you start to build up some stuff. You're like, all right, I've noticed, there's this one puzzle that I've just kind of stumbled upon. I was like, man, there's these chess pieces I'm finding in rooms. I'm like, what? There's a Pong here, and there's the Rook, there's the Bishop in this room. I'm like, what the fuck is that about? Well, eventually, after I did some other puzzles and shit, I found a room in a tunnel with a chessboard, and it's empty, and there's pieces there. I'm like, oh, okay, so what I had to do is write down the rooms and what position they are on the board, and then I can put my chess pieces on the chessboard, which happens to be laid out the same way as the house. It sounds really confusing, and it might be. It might absolutely be a very confusing game. And this, I shit you, this is the only game I'm taking pictures on my phone. I'm taking notes. I haven't done this since I played Myst back on the Sega Saturn when I was 9 years old, and my uncle played it. He gave it to me, and he had handwritten notes on the game with the codes and what to do, where to go. And this game feels like Myst. This is the most Myst game I have ever played since I played freaking Myst, and it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I'm I find a note, and it might have a date on it, or maybe a number, or it might have a bolded letter. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I'll jot that down, and maybe it'll come up for me later. I found you'll find safes throughout the house, and you're like, oh, well, I got to figure out the code. And, spoiler alert if you don't want to know the code for a particular safe, but it was fucking genius the way that it gave you a clue what the code was. So in the room, you'll find a photograph of the safe, and it's on Christmas Day. So you see the safe, it's wrapped up, and it's clearly been torn, and it's been open, it's under a Christmas tree. It's clearly Christmas Day. So you put in the date of Christmas, you put in 12, the 12th month, and the 25th, the day, and boom, that was the code for the safe. I was like, just brain exploded. The puzzles do not fuck around. And I'll be clear, I have looked up some puzzles, absolutely, to just, figure out if I'm even on, the right track. I'm like, is it this? Are we going that deep? And yeah, some of the puzzles, they are they're not fucking, it's not just oh, spin this until you get to that color and boom, it's open. It's no, these puzzles are legit. They are not fucking around. You really got to think sometimes. And yeah, so I've had to look up some things just to be okay, am I on the right track here? And if you don't like math, there's something in this game you might not like. So there's a room, the billiards room. You get in there, there's a dartboard. And the dartboard is like a math equation. You'll get to it, and it'll highlight some numbers, and you'll have to actually do math. And it's subtract and adding, and it gets harder and harder and harder. And I've had to look up just to understand what some of the symbols are, because like all of a sudden there'll be like a blue, the bullseye will turn blue, and you're like, well, what the fuck do I do? And what you have to do is times whatever blue number by itself, and you're like, oh shit, okay. And there's like decibels and shit like that. I'm like, whoa, this is like some actual math, man. So there's like math, and it's just, and you have to find you're going to be finding keys and gems throughout the mansion, and the keys obviously open up locked doors. The further you get into this mansion, the more locked doors you're going to find, and you're going to have to decide, like, oh, do I risk opening this door here? Do I go over there? Or do I risk, like, I only have so many steps, so I'm going to have to go this way. And you'll find rooms that, like, fuck with you. They're called the red rooms. And there'll be like a gymnasium. Every time you enter this room, you lose 2 steps. One of them, you lose half of your steps. So if you draw that room and you got 40 steps, you walk into it, boom, you lose half. You're down to 20 steps. You're like, oh, shit. But there's a room where you can, like, there's a power room where you can turn off power sources. It's amazing, man. It is truly an amazing game. And, like, sometimes I'm explaining the puzzles to my wife. And, like, I'm basically just kind of working the puzzle out loud, and she's listening, and she's like, shit, dude. I'm like, yeah, I know, but like, isn't that so fucking cool? Like, some of these puzzles are so interesting. There's like water puzzles, man, where you're like trying to change the elevations of the water in different rooms, and like some, like, what I'm finding, like, now that I'm getting further in the game, it's not just me getting as far as I want in the mansion. Now I'm looking for like specific rooms that I need. I'm looking for specific items that I need, because you're going to find like a broken lever. You're like, what the fuck do I do with this broken lever? Eventually you'll figure it out. You'll find like a secret garden key. You're like, what the fuck do I do with this? Eventually you'll figure it out, and it's just constantly giving you like a little new puzzle, and you'll solve something. So it's just like constantly giving you a little bit of dopamine, but then it hits you with another wall. You're like, oh fuck, what do I do with this? And slowly you're figuring things out, man. And like, it just keeps getting deeper and deeper. Like, you'll find an item. You're like, oh shit, there's a sledgehammer. And it's like, oh, use the sledgehammer to break open chests, and you can get some items. But then I find this other room, you're like, yo, you can combine items. And all of a sudden I built a jackhammer, and I'm like, fucking drilling holes in the house and shit. And I'm like, whoa, this game is deep. I can't believe, like, no, I didn't hear anything about this game. It just dropped, and yeah, dude, it's awesome. I'm like, I don't know, 20 plus hours, 25, 30, I don't know how many times, but I'm like 30 days in. I'm like, you just keep going and going and going. I'm getting closer. I definitely feel I've gotten into the antechamber. I'm getting close, man. I just need you need a little bit of luck to get a perfect run where you get the rooms that you need with the items that you need. And man, there's a coat check, and the coat check, you can save 1 item. I wish you can do more, because I'm in a point right now where I'm like, I need to save more than 1 item. Like, I have this key that I don't find very often, but I need this room to use the key, but I don't get that room often. So it's like, I want to be able to hold it. You know, there's a lot of strategy, a lot of thinking, and it's a very minimalistic game. The only thing that I have like a gripe with is the walking speed is very slow, and there's once the game opens up more, there's some areas that it takes like a minute to walk over there, and you're like, damn, this is really slow. I wish I could fucking run when I'm in these areas or something. So that's a little bit of a drawback. It is, repetitive. You're going through the house over and over again. That's really all there is to it, but you're getting further and further into these puzzles and shit like that. I haven't really gotten much into the story. Like, you're finding notes around, you're kind of getting a little bit of information on this and that, but I'm not really drawn into the story per se. I'm just drawn into like the mystery, which I guess is part of the story. So yeah, I guess the story's pretty cool, but graphically minimalistic, kind of a cel-shaded look to it. Not like fully, but I like the look of it. The music, I would have put in music for it, but they're really like, it's very like just melodic. It's just like bong, and like maybe a piano key every now and then. The music's very minimalistic. I have been rocking podcasts hard with this game. It's a great podcasting game, because there's very minimal things you have to really listen for. So it's just, yeah, throw on a podcast, throw on something to watch on the side. It's great for that. But this game is a banger. It's on Game Pass. It's on PlayStation Plus. So if you have either of those, absolutely give it a shot. Like, give it a try. Even if it ends up not being for you, I've read tons of posts where people are like, I dropped off. Not for me. I'm done. I've got 20 days in. I'm just not finding the fun. I got 7 days in. I'm not finding the fun. And then there's other people that are like, I put in 200 plus hours on this game and I can't get enough of it. So it is definitely... I'm not going to sit there and say it is the must play of the year. Like, every single person's going to have a great time with this game. No, I'm going to be real with it. It's a game that will definitely cater more to people that love puzzle games, but it definitely has some very interesting stuff, like that roguelite element that it definitely, for me, like, I'm not really into these kind of puzzle games, but the roguelite thing really has brought me just, I can't get enough of it. So I'm loving Blueprints. That is the first game on this list. This is a continuation of my 13 favorite indie games. It's like, I think there's 15 or 16 games on this list, so we're just talking a lot of indie games. You haven't figured that one out already? All right, let's move to the next game, and that's the game that I missed, and I cannot fucking forgive myself that I missed this game on my first list, because it is literally one of my favorite indie games of all time. That's Super Meat Boy. That's one of the games that really kicked it off for me, that really made me believe in indie video games as like, yo, just because it isn't made by 200 people and didn't have $100 million plus budget and all that shit doesn't mean it's not a great game. Honestly, indie gaming is probably where like the funnest, best games have been. Some of the most impactful games for me have been indie games. And I push it on people, like, if you're missing out on indie and you don't believe in indie and you think whatever about indie games, like, dude, you got to get off that and play indie games, because they're fucking incredible. Arguably, like, honestly, I would probably, if I can only choose, like, if I can only have AAA games or indie games, choosing indie games. Like, absolutely. There's so much creativity, and the story impacts, man. There's just so much more chances being taken in indie games, and they pay off way more often than they do in a AAA game. So that's my opinion on that. But Super Meat Boy, bro, oh my god, one of the best platformers ever. I remember when I played that, I was like, this was one of the first platformers that I ever felt as good, if not better, than a Mario platformer. It was so pristine and precise, and it had to be, because that game is hella hard. But I got through it. I didn't like 100% it or anything, but I did beat it, and it was probably maybe the hardest platformer I've ever actually gotten through, but I love it. I love the mechanic that you get to see every run, that all the failed runs that you did up until you finally complete it successfully. So you see all your failed attempts at the end, and it's just so satisfying. I absolutely adore Super Meat Boy. I am kind of shocked at this point. Maybe there been a Super Meat Boy 2? I don't know. I'm shocked there hasn't been. I mean, they keep re-releasing Super Meat Boy, which is like, okay, I mean, with all the re-releases, you probably could have done a second game by now, but man, I absolutely love Super Meat Boy. The attitude on that game, the comedy, I love it. I love the look of the game, the little meat sounds, I love Super Meat Boy. We'll go to the next game is Slay the Spire. Oh yeah, baby. One of the most popular games on Remember the Game. He recommends it. He will die on that hill, and I agree. It is an incredible game. It is so freaking fun. I didn't get into it as hard as like Adam did, but I played a lot of it. Oh yeah, it is super fun. It's like a card deck building roguelite, so you'll pick a character that specializes in something. I'm a little foggy, but some of them like poison based. Anyway, you'll build up a specific deck with this character, and you're going through battling people, and it's incredibly fun. You'll be unlocking new characters and new moves and shit like that. It is absolutely delightful. I would love to get this game on my Switch. I've only played it on Xbox. I think it's still on Game Pass, so if you want to give it a shot, but it is the perfect game for Switch. It is a perfectly made Switch indie game. But Slay the Spire, I will shout out its praises as well. The game is freaking awesome. I love deck building roguelike games. There is another one, I think it's called Wild Frost, and that's on Game Pass as well. It's fairly recent that it came out, and that one was recommended to me as well because I like Slay the Spire. Like, if you like Slay the Spire, it's kind of like that. It's a buddy at work of mine been pushing it very, very hard on me. He's like, you're gonna love it. I'm like, I have a backlog, bitch, and I can't just keep stacking the games that you recommend to me on top of my backlog. It's got to go to the bottom sometimes, bitch. So you got to wait your turn. But I've heard good things about Wild Frost as well. Let's talk about the other game that I've been playing and that is Kill Knight. I've mentioned Kill Knight on here before. I purchased it like Black Friday area time, and it was a game that on Metacritic was holding like a high mid 90, and I was like, what the fuck? Didn't have a lot of reviews, but I was like, yo, what is that? Looked up some screenshots, looked up a little video. I'm like, yo, this game looks fucking awesome. And it actually is. Now that I've played it, I'm like, yo, okay. It's not like a 95 on Metacritic good, but it's a really fun freaking game. So imagine Hades. So you got that kind of camera view that, I don't know, is it isometric? Is that what they call it? Anyway, you got kind of a top-down camera angle, and it's like a shoot 'em up. It's a shmup. And you play this Kill Knight, you're in like hell or some shit, and yeah, they're just sending waves of demons at you, and you are the Kill Knight. You're killing the shit out of everything. And if anyone's ever played, what was that like Arcade of the Dead or whatever in Black Ops, that kind of top-down twin stick shooter, it's kind of like that. But it focuses more on the triggers to do all the action. So you're shooting, dodging, and you're like absorbing gems, mostly with the triggers. And like, I will admit, the controls took me a few runs to get a hang of it. But once I got it, I'm like fucking ripping around and I'm killing everything. You're just racking up scores, and you'll be unlocking like new weapons and new classes to use and find different ways to kill the demons. It's really fun, but in like short bursts. It's not something that I can sit there and play for like an hour and a half straight. I can sit there and do like 5 runs. The runs don't take very long, a few minutes. And yeah, you just build up a few runs. It's a great game. Just like, oh, I got like an hour to kill, 45 minutes, let's do some Kill Knight runs. And yeah, dude, it is fun. It's got a unique art style, kind of like pixel arty, but not fully. And I don't really know much about the story. You're just like trying to kill your way out of hell, I guess. I don't really know. The music's banging. That's the music I started the episode off with. And yeah, dude, Kill Knight is sweet. Don't miss out on it if it's if you're looking for something maybe to hold you over until Hades 2 comes over. Now it's not like Hades very, very much. Like, doesn't really have that roguelite element where like you're not going into different rooms and picking up different perks along the way. You're just kind of, it'll give you like a list of challenges. You're like, oh, get a 50 kill combo, kill 200 enemies with the gun, kill this enemy doing that, and you'll get points to unlock new guns, swords, shit like that. So it doesn't have like the deepest, like, it doesn't want me, like, if it had that, like, oh, if I was going into different rooms and like getting a different blade or getting a different perk in different parts of the level, that would definitely be bringing me back to the game. But right now, I'm just having a real good time with it. Very limited play, only played like an hour, maybe 2 hours of it, but it's awesome. It's super fun, so check it out. It's not very expensive either. I think it was like $20 or something. It's cool. It's definitely, if you're looking for a game like that, kind of arcadey, high score, fast-paced fun, oh yeah, Kill Knight. Definitely worth a look. Definitely check it out. It's everyone that I've mentioned it to, no one's ever heard of the game. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm on an island alone here, but I played it. It's fucking fun. Speaking of fucking fun, Cult of the Lamb. Come on down. This game rules. Played it, I think, a couple of years ago now. And I wouldn't mind going back to it because there's been like a lot of DLC and things that they have added to the game, but so delightful. Absolutely delightful. I love these games like on the day cycle where it's like, all right, today we can do this shit. And then you're building up your adorable cult. Like, you got these adorable little like animals that, oh man, and you're sacrificing them and they're just so fucking cute. And then you go into the dungeons. That's probably the weaker part of the game, is like the dungeon running, but what a unique game. It is so ridiculously cute, the art style. I loved Cult of the Lamb. I had a blast with that one. Definitely, check out Cult of the Lamb if you haven't checked it out already. I mean, holy jumping. It was a super popular game, so I feel like it's definitely gotten its love. A lot of people are getting it, and it's getting a lot of like re-releases, and it's getting DLC, which makes me believe like, yeah, it did well. It did very well, and I'm hoping we'll get a Cult of the Lamb 2, and you make the dungeon running a little better, make the combat a little bit better, but you keep that art style, you keep that funky, whatever the hell, the sacrificing thing. Like, that's what made the game so unique and so cool. Absolutely loved Cult of the Lamb. So freaking cute. I love it. All right, we got Balatro. talked a lot about this game before, but dude, this game, finally, the guy that I've been pushing this game on ever since it came out, for like a year now, I've been pushing this game. It came out on Game Pass finally, and he finally tried it, and he's like, this is amazing. I'm like, I fucking a told so. Why don't you listen to me? Like, for months, he's like, oh, I need a card-based roguelite. I'm like, my boy, fucking Balatro, and he wasn't buying it. Wasn't picking up what I'm selling. He finally played it. It's incredible. And I've been meaning to get back to it as well. I've only played like 25 hours of it. I've had, I don't know, four or five like completed runs. Like I was getting her done. I was doing real good. I had my strategies and everything. And now they've released like fucking themed decks, which, you know, I don't really care because they don't have anything to do with the gameplay. It's just the look of the cards have changed. But I do believe they've added in like new jokers and stuff. Regardless, the game just in general is outstandingly creative and insanely fun. It is a poker roguelite game, and it has nothing to do with gambling. It's just using, you know, straights, flushes, what do you call them? 3 of a kind, 4 of a kinds, and you build up your deck and you build a run that is revolved around, like, for me, I was finding all my success in building straights and shit like that. And I have a supporting cast of like, all right, I need something common to help me out in a bad spot. So you upgrade like pairs and shit like, oh my God, that game is so freaking fun. I want to go back and play it right now. I'm going to get back and play that game real soon because it's timeless. It is so freaking fun. We'll go now to Neon White, another game that I've been pushing hard for people to play. I'm not getting a lot of people playing the game, and I think that's too bad, man, because this game is just straight fun. It is so freaking fun. It is, if you like Mirror's Edge and you thought that game was good, dude, you're gonna fucking cream your shorts once you play Neon White, because Neon White is what Mirror's Edge, you know, would have been if it was great. It is a first-person speed running game, but it is so much fun. It gets harder. It gets harder, but you're getting these like, oh man, just watch the gameplay. Just watch the gameplay and watch like one of the more advanced levels. It might scare you off, but the game is brilliantly paced. It'll bring you along and show you how to do everything along the way, and you are doing some of the most badass platforming I have ever done. By like midway through the game, you're using rocket launchers to jump further and like hook shots, and like it's fucking wild, man. It is so much freaking fun. And if you can get a friend to play it with you and you guys can get into like a speed running competition and trying to beat each other's scores, like that's what this is a kind of funny recommendation. And they were doing that. They're like, oh man, like they got super addicted just trying to beat each other's scores. And yes, you can do that with like online, but you know, those people, they're way too good. They're way too good. And I'm like, how'd you do that? How'd you get so freaking fast? And they got a lot of great collectibles that you'll be like, how the fuck is that? And you'll find a way to get up there and get that collectible, and it's so satisfying. This game rules. The art style's sick. The music's unfreaking believable, but it's the gameplay. The gameplay is like 10 out of 10. It is so freaking fun. I swear on this game, Neon White, play it. It is so much fun. First person speed running at its best. At its best. All right. We got a, what do you call them? A Metroidvania, and I think still one of the more underrated ones, and that's Guacamelee. Guacamelee fucking slaps. That game absolutely knocked my dick off when I played it. Was not expecting it to be that good. I believe it is an Ubisoft joint, and Ubisoft, I just recently played Prince of Persia Lost Crown, very similar to Guacamelee. I think I prefer Guacamelee. It's definitely funnier. It's definitely got a way better like style to it. It's very quirky, very funny, and just silly, and I love it. And I love wrestling. So you're playing a luchador, and it's just, you fucking turn into a chicken. The controls are beautiful, damn near perfect. The Metroidvania level design is fucking genius. Like, you gotta have brilliant level design if you're gonna make a freaking Metroidvania, especially a good one, and Guacamelee is sensational. Sadly, I have still not gotten to Guacamelee 2. It's on my list. I will get to it. I know I'm gonna love it. I don't know what the fuck I'm waiting for, honestly. It's just that it's generally a new Metroidvania will come around. I'm like, oh, let's try the new one. And like, I know what Guacamelee 2 is going to be. It's going to be fucking awesome. But sometimes a new one calls me and I'm like, fucking Prince of Persia Lost Crown. I heard so many good things about it. And yes, it was great, but I personally still think Guacamelee is a better Metroidvania, and a really good one to start with. If you're a little turned off by how hard Metroidvanias can be and how easy it is to get lost and all that shit, try out Guacamelee. It's an easier one to get into, definitely. And Prince of Persia Lost Crown as well. I found pretty easy. I wouldn't say like super easy. Like Metroidvanias, they're not easy games in general, usually, but that one, Prince of Persia, I thought was a good starter, and same with Guacamelee. But dude, Guacamelee is just so quirky and fun. I absolutely love it, and there's like a multiplayer now. I haven't gotten to that, but you can play it with 2 people, which is insane. Like, oh my goodness, man, Guacamelee, gotta check that. Amazing music too, by the way. Goodness gracious. All right, let's get to a story indie game. So some of the best stories that I've ever experienced are some of the most like just games that hit the feels, you know what I'm saying? I've done an episode on that, and indie games do that very, very well. They make you just go like, what the fuck did I just experience? And a game that does that very well is Inside. Inside is just wild. It's hard to talk about because it's a game to be experienced, and absolutely worth your time because it's a very short game. We're talking 2-3 hours, something like that, maybe not even. And by the end of it, you're going to be like, what the fuck did I just experience? And it's gonna make you think. It's definitely will throw some themes at you and some stuff that might make you think twice about actions in the future, you know what I'm saying? But what a weird game. Just throws you in there and you're just like, what is going on? And off you go, man. Limbo falls into that category as well. And Little Nightmares as well. These kind of like story based 2D platformy action thing, whatever the fuck. But if you haven't played, the Insides, I haven't even played Limbo yet. I have it downloaded, I haven't gotten there, but they're worth it, man. Like I wouldn't say avoided them, but I didn't really have a lot of interest into seeing what these games were. But once I experienced them, like fucking the game that I'm talking about right now, I cannot freaking remember. Inside, Jesus, what's wrong with me? But yeah, they're just very interesting experiences. I could throw Journey into that as well. I played Journey for the first time this year. That was a game that I just didn't play because I was like, what am I going to get out of it? And it's just a delightful experience. Like by the end of it, I was just like, that was cool. Like, is it going to be the most memorable thing for me? Nah, like I'm not going to think of Journey that way. Maybe if I played it when it came out, I would, but man, some of the shit that goes down in Cocoon is just wild. All right, let's go to a puzzle game, one that really, really hit for me, and that is The Forgotten City. Very cool video game. It is like it's a Skyrim mod. It looks like, if you look at screenshots of it, you're like, this looks like Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, and it is. It's based off of a mod, and it's a very, very interesting time loop puzzle game where you are trying to stop this like someone breaks a law, it's like really crucial law, and they break the law and fucking basically the world ends. So you're trying to figure out how to stop it, and I must say it was one of the most satisfying puzzles that I have just unfolded. And I didn't need a lot of help with it. Like I found that it was just it was paced very well, and I was able to figure most of the game out by myself, and it was fucking delightful. I loved this game. I thought it was just very creative. The time loop thing was super fucking cool. Like when you fuck up a run and like shit's going down and like the world is ending and like these dudes are popping out trying to kill you and you're just trying to fucking run back to the portal to restart the day. You're like, ah, God. It's kind of like Groundhog Day, the video game, but better. Definitely a cooler story going around on that one. Highly recommend The Forgotten City. It is a very, very cool game. I'll recommend it for the puzzle people. Now, it's weird. I don't love puzzles, but when I do, I really, really love them. So, I don't know. I love The Forgotten City. I thought it was freaking awesome. We got Geometry Wars 3. Oh, yeah, man. Another one of the earlier indie games that I got into, and this is just straight up arcade fun. I remember how popular this, Geometry Wars 2 was. Like fucking Machinima, all those guys on YouTube, Machinima Respawn and all that shit. Oh my God, who remembers all that? But they were huge onto that, and I loved fucking the one with the gates. You gotta fly the ship in between the gates. You can't touch the sides, you can't touch anything, you have to just fly through the gates. while these like little groups of fucking things are following you, and the groups get bigger and bigger. And if you can get them near the gates, the gate explodes and it'll take out a big wave of them. And it's just, it is such a satisfying freaking game to play. Loved. I played a ton of Geometry Wars 3, and we'll throw Pac-Man Championship Edition in there too. I kind of played these two side by side. It was my arcade games. Like, they're just, not really a game necessarily I would sit there and play it for multiple hours straight, but I would sit there and like play a half hour of Geometry Wars, have a blast. All right, let's put in a little bit of Pac-Man time now. Do a fucking few rounds of Pac-Man, trying to get big scores. And I love Pac-Man Championship Edition. I love the spin that it did with Pac-Man. It didn't change it too much, but it made it super flashy and just like, it just gave it some pizzazz. And you know how I feel about pizzazz. I love pizzazz. So you get a whole bunch of that thrown into Pac-Man, and you eating the ghosts. You're going through these things and you just get this huge group of ghosts following you, and then bam, you turn the tables on them, then you're eating all of them. You just eat like 50 of them in a row, and it's just, it's fantastic. It comes with adventure mode. Like, I'm currently playing Pac-Man Championship Edition 2, and I'm very slowly working my way through the adventure mode, which is pretty simple. It's just go through here, eat the ghosts, eat this many fruits. They have boss fights as well, which they're creative. They're creative. I'm not going to say they're like the best thing ever, but they're creative. They're interesting, and I fucking love Pac-Man. Now, the question is, what do you like more, Pac-Man or Tetris? I'm going to talk about Tetris Connected here for a second, and how disappointed I was with Tetris Connected. Now, it's a great Tetris game. Don't get me wrong. I just can't believe they charge $50 for it. I think that's fucking insane. It's just a Tetris game. Like, again, it's like Pac-Man Championship Edition. Not very far from the Tetris formula, but you add in a whole bunch of pizzazz and nice graphics and all this, but they're like $50, and I paid $50 for it because I love me some Tetris. And when I beat the game, I was like, I cannot believe they charged $50 for this. This is not a $50 game. I'd say $10-15, buy it on sale, but $50 for Tetris is crazy to me. But it is a phenomenal Tetris game, but I would just stick with the OG Tetris on Nintendo, honestly. If I was you, don't save your $50. All right, but spend your money on Into the Breach. That game rules. It is for my grid-based strategy fans out there. Into the Breach was very, very cool. Got it super cheap on Switch. Phenomenal handheld Switch game to play. And you get, like, I don't remember exactly how the game goes down, but you're defending these cities from these bugs. And yeah, it's just grid-based strategy gameplay, and the mechs do like specific things, so you gotta like plan out your attacks and make sure the city doesn't get fucking destroyed. But I had a really good time with Into the Breach. Definitely worth a shot. It's kind of that pixel art game art style, but it works really, really well for the game. That was a banger. We got two more here. We got Child of Light. I always bring up this game. Another one of the early ones that I played. I believe this is another one of those Ubisoft indie games as well. And hey, good for Ubisoft. I wish they would release more of the indie games, because I think they do really, really well. Maybe not the sales-wise that they want, but I think they always review very well. They're great games generally, and Child of Light is no exception. I thought it has a very unique battle system. It's kind of like this timed battle system. I don't remember it very, very clearly, because I've only played it once, and that was like 10 years ago. So give me a break here. But it was I loved the art style. It was beautiful. I thought it told a nice story. It's a very lovely little RPG, kind of like an action RPG. It was lovely, man. If you haven't played Child of Light, don't sleep on that one. It is a great little RPG, tale of friendship and shit like that. Oh, yeah. And we got one more. One of the nice short and sweet games, and you barely do a fucking thing. You're pretty much just going to the right. Maybe a little left every now and again. Maybe a jump or two here and there, but it's just kind of a game you experience and you watch it, and it's beautiful, and that is The Artful Escape. Gave The Artful Escape a shot because I love music, and it was short. They're like, it's like 2-3 hours. You could beat it in a weekend. You could beat it in one sitting if you really want to. And it did so, and it was just like really nothing going on gameplay-wise. It was just kind of like visually stunning, and just a really cool story about a fucking kid that loves music, and I really enjoy those games. What's the other one that I played? it's something with cooking in it. I can't remember the name of that game. For some reason, all I can think of is Chance of Sonar, and I know that's not right at all. Vemba. That's another good one. It's like 3 hours long, and it's just a really nice story about different cultures and their cooking. As simple as that, and it was delightfully fun making the meals and just learning something different, man. Like, I love learning about different cultures. I think it's so cool. Like, what are they eating? Like, it's as simple as what are you wearing? What entertains you over here? Like, I just think it's super cool. I love variety. I think being different is excellent, and I love how different cultures do things differently. I think that's really neat, and that's Vemba is a sweet little game that shows you, different cultures, and it's okay. People can be different. You don't have to fucking hate them and shit like that. Like, it's ridiculous. And indie games do that kind of stuff, man. Like, indie games will have a simple message, like just be better to other people, be better to yourself. Like, tons of indie games go down the mental health, like, depression, suicide, they go down all that shit, where the bigger games kind of shy away from that shit because they're like, there's just too much money on the line. Let's just fucking make a simple Pocahontas style story and let's be done with it and make our money and go away. But indie games, man, they take the chances. They fucking do things differently. They try a different formula. They try something new, and that's why I love indie games so fucking much. And not only that, they keep the old school around. Like, they don't let the Super Nintendo art style die. They don't let 8-bit die, 16-bit die. They keep those art styles around. And I love when they, like a game like Sea of Stars, where they pay homage to a game like Chrono Trigger, one of my favorite games ever. And they do such a great job. Like, it is Sea of Stars is like my unofficial sequel to Chrono Trigger. The game is just so beautifully made, and there's just so much love and attention. You could tell how much they loved Chrono Trigger and how important that game is to them. And like, I love when indie games do that, where it's just kind of a love song, a swan song to a game they grew up with and loved, and we want to create one to show how much we appreciate that game. And that's the beautiful side of indie. And man, I'm all about it, man. Like, I'm can't wait for more. Like, I still don't do a good enough job, in my own opinion. I need to play more. I'm doing a better job this year, but I still need to get to more indie games. There's still so freaking many of them that I haven't gotten to. Like, the Ori games, I tried it, but I wasn't feeling it at the time. I know they're going to be amazing, but I gotta be in the mood. I know I have to get to those. Fuck the Talos Principle, Firewatch, like, there's like Fez, there's tons of them, man. There's Braid I haven't played, Limbo I haven't played, there's a lot, man. There's a lot. Flower, like, you name it, man. Like, that's the great thing. There's so many indie games, and what I also love about them is that they're affordable. Like, I can buy a brand new indie game. Like, there's a few that are on my list, like Neva. I really want to try out Neva because I hear comparisons to, like, Princess Mononoke, and I hear it's a very, very sad story, and I can't wait to get it. But, like, it's $25 brand new, and I'm like, that, if I'm very, very interested in it, I will buy it right away because, like, $25, like, completely justified. Even if it's 3 hours, if it's an amazing 3 hours that I'm like, that was an amazing experience, sure, $25, absolutely worth it. And that's the price range of games like Neva. I bought 1000X Resist, which is, I haven't gotten to it yet, but it's an indie game that hopefully next time I make a list, we'll have more to talk about with these games because I played them. And like, a game that I'm quite interested is Thankfully You're Still Here. I think it's something like that. It's like this very British humor game, and I want to give it a shot because, like, again, I'm like, doesn't sound like I definitely wouldn't try it if it was like a $70 game because I'm like, oh, what if the British humor just doesn't hit for me? But I'm like, yo, for $20, I'll take a chance on it. See if this game can make me fucking laugh. And it sounds like one of those games that, like, if you get the humor, it's delightful. So I love that they're doing games like that, just quirky, weird games. Things like Untitled Goose Game. Like, I played that with my wife, and it was freaking awesome. It was so much fun, so delightful. You're just a duck trolling people, man. You're just pissing them off. You're knocking stuff over. You're stealing shit from them, and it's just, you don't get that in the big games anymore. Me and the homie Billy were talking about it, like, man, just remember how fun games used to be, like, on PS2. Doesn't matter, like, if it's AAA or whatever, like they would just put as much as they can into the games to give you as much to do and play as possible. Like I think about the old WWE games and how much content was in those games, and I could literally just be gifted that one SmackDown versus Raw game that year, and it would last me the whole entire year because there's so many unlockables and challenges and just content stuffed into those games that we don't have now because of DLC and a whole bunch of other baloney. You know, games are just too fucking expensive to make and so on and so forth. But I love indie. I'm so happy that I still don't think it's on the platform that it deserves to be on, but it's getting there, man. Like, even though I don't think like games like Split Fiction and like It Takes Two, they're like borderline indie, but they're getting like what I would call like AAA indie now. You know what I'm saying? Like Split Fiction, that's a huge game. And another thing that I love about them is that company has taken the role of like, yo, we want to bring back couch co-op and make that fucking real again. And like, thank you so much for doing that because I love those games. I haven't gotten to Split Fiction yet, but I can't wait to get there. And yeah, dude, so I think that's all I want to talk about with this episode right here. I love indie games and want to appreciate them and let you know which ones to try out because I know people are still really shy with indie games, and maybe, like, same thing for me. Like, I used to just be like a AAA guy, like, what are the games that are getting all the high Metacritic scores? And then a lot of these indie games started creeping up in those high scores. I'm like, is it? And then, like, dude, like Hades and Hollow Knight and, like, goddamn, like, those are the games, Stardew Valley, Disco Elysium, Inscription, fucking Minecraft. Like, these games have impacted me, like, more than most AAA games have, man. So I love my indies. I hope y'all love indies, and you got a kick out of this episode, and hopefully some good recommendations. I hope there's some games here that tickled your pickle or, you know, got the eyebrow raise out of you and like, yo, I might check this one out. And me, I got one on the way. It might be here now, but Banner Saga, I cannot wait to try this game out. It sounds so fucking cool. I cannot believe I haven't heard about it until just recently, and yeah, dude. So hit me with your indie game recommendations. Please throw them at me. Absolutely. Do not be shy. Throw multiple. Throw every indie game that you got at me. Some of them I haven't played. Some I might have already played. I don't care. Just throw them at me. Let me know what indie games you need me to play, because I know myself. There's a ton. I'll probably make a backlog episode that is just indies, and we could just talk about all the indie games that I want to play and haven't gotten to yet. The one that kills me right now is Talos Principle, because it was on sale for like $4 on Switch, and I had the Nintendo points, and I was going to use it. I forgot. Now it's not on sale anymore, so got to wait again. So, oh well. It is what it is. It is what it do. But there we go, everybody. Another episode done. Thank you so much for listening. 140 episodes down. That's amazing. And I did pass 10,000 downloads, so thank you, everybody, so much for downloading and sharing it and doing whatever you're doing out there to help the little guy like me grow. And I really, really appreciate that. So you the best. You want to be even more the best, though, make sure you're reviewing and sharing the podcast around with a few of your friends and enemies, because why not? I upload all of these episodes to the YouTube channel, GamerGX Videos. You can follow the link in the description down below. Go over there on the YouTube channel, subscribe, and a great place. You could drop a comment on one of the episodes. Any questions you want answered on the pod about, wrestling, video games, or hockey, send them on in. And also, you could drop comments on Spotify now if you would like. Try to see them. I don't think I get like any notifications for that kind of thing, so I'll try my best to see if there are any comments and answer them as quickly as possible. There's an email address, but I do not know how to get into it, so sorry. I'll try and make a new one. I'm trying to be more active on Twitter again now that an evil Nazi billionaire doesn't own it anymore, so I'm trying to be more active there. And, so there we go, everybody. In terms of what else got going on with the podcast, holy shit, strap in. You ready? WrestleMania weekend is upon us. It is here. And that means a shitload of wrestling. We're talking 3 days of pay-per-views. We got Stand and Deliver NXT. We got WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. And on top of that, I got my Wrestling Awards show, which I'm probably going to push to next week. I think it'd be a little bit redundant to throw it in this week, because there's going to be so much content this week with the fucking WrestleMania reviews, Stand and Deliver. So we'll push it to next week, and we'll have the Wrestling Awards show, giving out all my best of awards for the whole entire year. And we'll start that bitch up again. And what else we got going? Oh my god, dude. NHL playoffs start today as well. This is a huge day for me, bro. This is a huge day. Got NHL playoffs. Leafs and Sens start their playoff fucking matchup tomorrow, Sunday night. Can't wait to watch it. So we'll be breaking down. I broke down the Eastern matchups on this week's HockeyCast. I'll break down the Western matchups on next week's HockeyCast. Yes, I know the series will already be started, but I don't care. We'll talk about them anyway, and make predictions and all that great stuff on the next HockeyCast. And for the next GamerCast, well, I'll probably do one of the other lists that I was planning on doing, rather games that made the biggest impact on me, or I have Resurrect Dead franchises list. I have rhythm game list I'm building up. It might be the rhythm game one, because I have a bunch of rhythm games downloaded that I haven't played before, and I want to do an episode on rhythm games, and just like ones that aren't just Rock Band and Guitar Hero. Like, what about the other ones? So I want to look into those games as well. So if any of those tickle your pickle, drop a comment, and I'll try and work on whichever one you would prefer first, and we can go from there. In terms of like actual game reviews, I don't have any like games for review on the go right now, but we'll see what I'm going to be playing next week. I don't think I'm going to be doing a full review for Blueprints. That's what this episode was about. We talked about it. I think it's an amazing game. Like, if I had to score it today, it's like a strong 8.5, 9, like in and around that area. It's just incredibly fun. I just got to see what the payoff is. Like, once I know, like, all right, what's my big payoff? Is it satisfying? Am I happy with it? Then we'll see if it lands on that 8.5, 9. Maybe it goes higher than that, but that's where I'm at with Blueprints right now. Strong 8.5, bordering on a 9 right now. It's an amazing game. It's very, very cool, very unique, and I'm loving it. So there we go, everybody. Thank you again so much for listening. Make sure you're sticking around with the podcast, subscribing, all that good stuff, and we'll be back again with some GX Bluff Game.